Here's the crazy story of how I turned a free gig into a full-blown $2,500 video photo shoot. So let's go all the way back when I was doing CrossFit, because the CrossFit owner was putting on this CrossFit event and was like, hey, does anyone know how to shoot a video? I want to do like a little video promotion of this event and everything that we did for this event. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I literally, instead of getting like the nice camera and everything else, all I had was a phone. And I got a little stabilizer to stabilize it so I could at least get a decent shot. While I'm filming at my CrossFit gym, one of the people that does CrossFit was like, hey, are you a videographer? Can you shoot my anniversary event? And I'm like standing there and I'm like, yeah, I'm a videographer. I can shoot your event. How much are you paying? And she's like, how about $1,000? And I'm like, well, that might be below me, but for you, I'll do it for $1,000. In my head, I'm screaming, what? She's gonna pay me $1,000? This is insane. From CrossFit, doing it for free for them, I get a gig to go shoot this lady's anniversary event. And I'm at the event filming again on my phone. And while I'm filming, another person comes up to me and they're like, do you do photography? And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, my son is getting engaged and I need someone to shoot his engagement. And I'm like, I'm your guy. She's like, how much do you charge? And I was like, it's just a proposal, right? And she's like, yeah, like a couple hours. I'm like, $800? But I said it in the sense of like, yeah, that's gonna be $800. There's gotta be a sense of confidence, right? She's like, deal. I was like, I need the money up front because I'm like, I can't shoot. I just can't take photos on my phone of them like far away because this is supposed to be secretive. So she pays me and I'm getting the money from this gig. And I buy a $400 or $500 Canon T5i camera that is just like the entry level camera. And I'm like, I need to learn how to take photos. And I'm at the park and I'm just like taking photos of my kids and I'm watching YouTube videos on like how to do photography, what's ISO, what's shutter speed, like how do you control the lighting, all these things. And I'm taking photos at the park right next to my house. And my neighbor's at the park and she's like, are you a photographer? Yeah, I'm a photographer. She's like, my boyfriend and I have been wanting to take some kind of like togetherness photo. Would you be willing to do that? Because she's like, I'm a woodworker. I'd make you anything that you want. Like, what would it be? And I'm like, well, we need a coffee table. Would you be able to make me a coffee table? She's like, done. She's making the coffee table. I'm taking these photos and I'm just trying to YouTube like, what is a togetherness photo shoot? What does this look like? I literally buy these lights and the cord is like behind them that I had to learn to Photoshop the cord, the plug out. And because I'm backlighting them and that's what I learned on YouTube. She's there like cuddled up with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's like wrapping around her, and she has like her shirt off. So you see like her whole spine and I'm like, perfect. I take some of these photos, right? I get it even framed for her on this huge canvas that was like Black Friday deal. I got it for like $30 or something like that. It was really pretty still. And I get it to her and I present this to her and she's like, oh my gosh. Well, she hangs that up in her room. A week later, I now take that photo shoot of the couple getting married. A lot of mistakes happened, but it still turned out pretty good, I think. I learned how to photo edit from that because I'm like, I have no idea how to edit photos. I sent it to my sister who does some photography and she was like, these photos are orange. Oh, so don't color grade it too much. I'm YouTubing everything. I don't even have Photoshop. I'm using some kind of like alternative photo editor. While I'm getting that work done, my neighbor has like her best friend come over. Her best friend goes into her room and she's like, oh my gosh, who took that photo of you guys? She's like, Trayden, my neighbor, isn't he really good? She goes, we're getting married in 6 months or something like that. I want him to be our wedding photographer. She connects me over text messages and she's like, how much? And I'm like, well, do you want photo or video? And she's like, both. And I'm like, let me talk to my team. I call up my sister. I'm like, I think I just landed a wedding photography thing. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, how do I do this? And she's like, well, I know some friends that like do it for like $3,000. And I'm like, but they're good, right? And she's like, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna offer $2,500. I was like, but look, she wants photography and videography. So I'm gonna use that money. I'm gonna fly you in. She's like, well, you're gonna need a second photographer. She's like, my boyfriend's been like, we've been going out and like having like photography dates. We've been kind of learning together. And I'm like, perfect, bring your boyfriend, let's go. And I fly them in, we do the video shoot, the photography, everything. I'm literally watching every single video on how to shoot. What does it look like? Oh, you need to do dress ceremony where the mom's zipping up the dress. You need to do this. You need I'm trying to line out everything. Afterwards, you do like a togetherness photo with all the groomsmen and stuff like that. We are planning this thing out. I'm slightly freaking out because I have no idea how to do this. We get there. I still have my T5i camera that I'm shooting video on. My sister has something better her boyfriend has something similar to me. We're shooting the whole thing. It was such a cute wedding. And this was a lesbian wedding that I didn't even know, because I love it. I was there for it. And I was like, I'm here for it. But the crazy thing is, like, as a photographer, you shoot the guy different than the girl. And when you have two girls, I was so confused on, like, they're both putting on their dresses. How do I shoot this? And it ended up, I think, looking pretty good. The whole story is the art of going with the flow. And sometimes just saying yes to opportunities opens up more opportunities for you. But just saying yes to things is not the key and not the answer. Because I truly believe that when you say yes to something, God wants to see how you actually handle that responsibility. In my case, I was like, yes, I'll do that. Now, how do I do that? And so I poured a lot of time and energy and effort to develop that skill set, to develop how do I now shoot on this camera? How do I film? How do I do the lighting? How do I do these things? With the opportunity comes responsibility. And how you handle that responsibility, what I can imagine is then elevates you for other opportunities. Going down that whole path, did I become a videographer and photographer? Is that my life now? No. But I was able to use those skill sets into business today, because Boho and my wife Holly, we create a lot of content. I'm able to understand the lighting, how it sets the mood. I'm able to understand the technology and, like, you know what, we need better audio. Let's try this audio device. And I'm able to pour into other resources of people that I've met and learned from to be like, how would you have shot this? And just because God takes you down a pathway doesn't mean that that's the pathway you must be on and that's your calling. Maybe it's just a skill set. Maybe it's just the tide taking you this way to learn something, because then God's going to take you another direction so that you can flourish and have a skill set that no one else had, because they went straight this way and you took this winding road of developing all these skill sets, but you went with the flow. Go with the flow, say yes to things, and always mirror responsibility with opportunity. So if you want to be a kick-ass entrepreneur, make sure you follow me for more content.